Peace. As a language enthusiast extraordinaire, advocate and educator, I absolutely love it when language lessons come in the form of life lessons and vice versa. For example, story time. I remember when Daddy let me go with him to give an estimate on a job when I was a little kid, but yay high. The job was for a contractor that Daddy had worked with for many years. But this time when he arrived to give the estimate, it was the contractor's son who was there. Now the son was pretty young. He was about fresh out of college, 22, 23-ish. And when they shook hands, he introduced himself to my daddy by first and last name. So Daddy did the same, introduced himself by first and last name. That's when the son said, "Pleased to meet you," using Daddy's first name. Daddy said, likewise, using the son's first name. At which point the son corrected Daddy and told him that he preferred Mr. last name. Now comes the language lesson. We, my daddy and I, are Gullah Geechee, and in our language, there are a few features that made saying this man's last name tricky. For example, we Gullah Geechee people with two-syllable or more words tend to put the emphasis at the beginning of the word. Like say, for example, Mama would call a washing machine a machine. Gullah Geechee is also a non-rhotic language, which means that we tend to drop the R. Also, the T sound is softened to more like a D. Get up would sound more like get up. So my dad then responded to this kid's request by calling him Mr. Stupid. You see, the kid's last name was Stupart. And he then corrected my dad again. No, Stupart. Upon which time my dad said, yeah, stupid. The kid then says, no. And my dad cuts him off and said, well, you're going to have to excuse me because, I ain't got much practice saying your last name because me and your daddy on first name basis. The kid pauses and I'm sitting there looking back and forth, biting my nails, trying not to crack up. The kid says, sure, let's do that. Daddy says, you sure? If you want to be stupid, you can be stupid. I ain't got no problem calling you stupid. And the kid says, no, that's okay. And Daddy said, well, okay, show me what you got. And when they were done, Daddy and I both hopped in the truck. And almost instantly, now this is Daddy in the driver's seat. Mr. Stupid. That boy is stupid. At which point all of my giggling was validated because it occurred to me, Daddy was calling his new boss stupid to his face multiple times and using our language for plausible deniability. He was trolling the guy. But I digress. The life lesson that I extrapolated from that language lesson. I will never, ever, under any circumstances, kowtow to whiteness. My daddy at the time could have sent me on my way out of earshot and kowtowed to this kid. But no, he wanted his boy to see what it meant to be a whole black man. So I would suggest that y'all be humble. And if you cannot be humble, be quiet or be next. Whatever you do, don't be stupid. We out here.